we've got more SP batteries to look at today. A lot of you really liked the first one I did where I just looked at a bunch of Amazon SP batteries and compared them all. If you want to go watch that video, I'll hopefully have it in the card right here. It'll be at the end, hopefully linked to the description. You'll be able to find it somewhere. But there were a couple pretty decent ones on Amazon, but they were like 15 to 20 bucks. And not to spoil it, but there was a pretty big disappointment on one of them that I've been using this whole time. So I'm not using them anymore once I'm out of those batteries, hopefully soon. But these are kind of the bigger boys in a way. These batteries here that we're going to look at today are batteries from companies that most of you will probably know if you're in the space like I am. And let's start off with this guy because it's probably the least exciting of all of them. This one I found at Retro Game Repair Shop. It is pretty much the only battery I think they've got right now, besides the funny playing one that is over here, but we'll talk about that later in a second. This is very reminiscent of the one that I usually go to, the one that I find on Amazon, but this has a black wrap on it instead. And a lot of SP batteries, a lot of the like off-brand ones have no problem lying to you about how much battery, how much juice is actually in here. And thankfully on Retro Game Repair Shop, they do specify that it's not really 850 milliamp hours as the battery says on it. It's closer to about 700 milliamp hours. So that's pretty cool that they added that even in the title. But either way, I don't really care what the number says. I care about how long this lasts. So we did the tests, and by we, I mean me. I did the tests. I did 2 tests just like last time. Did it fully charged after getting it shipped to me. And usually it just produces a lower number on the first go around. I don't know what it is. Maybe it just needs to be fully drained, fully charged again, and then it's actually to its real number. Maybe I should do this test 10 times, but I'm too lazy. This is for YouTube. It's not that big of a deal. On the first go around, we got an hour and 53 minutes out of this battery right here. And then the second go around, it was 2 hours and 31 minutes. That's what I mean. I don't know what it is. It's just a little bit better on the second time around. And that's pretty decent. When comparing it to the other batteries from the last tests, it's not terrible. And they sell it for $7 on their website. That's before shipping. And I don't know if they ship batteries internationally. I don't know. I'm in the US, so it doesn't matter to me. But I know some companies won't do that. And also to specify, these tests are just like last time. I don't have the same Suicune SP from last time, but this is a very similar build. This is another IPS V2 at its max brightness, running the whole time. And I don't know, it might be a different revision board, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think that really makes that big of a difference. If you care that much, see you later, I guess. I don't know. Don't watch the rest of this video. But this test is as close as the last time. I think it's very comparable. I don't think we're going to see any differences. So about 2.5 hours of battery life from this one. Not bad for $7. Then we looked at this guy. This is the I can't hold on to a battery today. This is the Megabat from Helder. Yeah, Helder Game Tech. And he claims it to be 800 milliamp hours, which is 700 more milliamp hours than this guy, at least the realistic number that RGRS gives us for this. And it actually performs a little bit weaker, also kind of the same. Both tests, we got about 2 hours and 5 minutes. The second test was 2 hours and 7 minutes. So I think it was pretty comparable. I think it's actually a slightly smaller battery because you need this 3D printed thing to actually keep the battery in the compartment, which I don't like. I think that's really lame. But at the same time, it's not that big of a deal because you can just, put it in there once and forget about it. It's not like you have to take this battery out very often, but it's just slightly annoying because this is really easy to lose. But then again, you could just fold up a little piece of paper and get the same thing. But for 2 hours of battery life, $10 before tax and shipping and all that stuff. I always forget about tax because I live in Oregon. We don't have sales tax. Price to performance wise, compared to this guy, it's not as good. I would just typically stay away from this unless you're buying something else from Helder and it'll, make it cheaper with combining shipping with something else. I don't know, but not as impressed with the Megabat. I did have high hopes for it, but oh well, it's fine. It's still a totally acceptable battery, but I think there are better batteries out there. Then we've got this one from Retromodding / Mako. I think the only thing that this actually has to do with Mako is this board here. I'm pretty sure he just designed the PCB to connect it to the SP. I don't think he has anything to do with the rest of it. He might get a little commission every time someone buys one of these, but it's just the battery connected to a little board, and that's it. And this is a 900 milliamp hour battery, according to the writing on the back here. And this comes in at $15 from Retro Modding before shipping, before taxes, before any of that. And in my testing, I got an hour and 53 minutes on the first test. Then after charging it back up from 0, I got 2 hours and 43 minutes. So that's a lot better. And assuming you're going to get that 2 hours, 45 minutes-ish time at max brightness from this, that's not bad. Only problem is it's $15. That's a little bit expensive for my taste. But what's cool about this is since Mako made this PCB, you can also just buy just the PCB from Retro Game Repair Shop and you can make your own battery. So you could potentially find a different cell to solder up to this board here and have your own SP battery that might be better. I don't know. But for $15, I think that's just a little too expensive for the performance you get. I don't know. Almost 3 hours of battery life at max brightness. All of this is, of course, without running any games. It's just on the bright white screen after startup. But we're now into the second video of this series, and honestly, the last video. This is the last battery we're going to talk about unless something else comes out that is just way better, which I don't think is really possible. But we've got Funny Playing's battery here, and this says it's rated for 950 milliamp hours, and I actually believe it. You know why? Because this battery lasted 3 hours on the first charge, specifically 2 hours and 53 minutes the first go around. And like I've been saying, a lot of these batteries do a lot better on the second test. And this battery lasted over 4 hours at maximum brightness. Holy crap. That is insane. And if you go to Retro Game Repair Shop's website, you can buy this for $13.99, which isn't bad. Price performance could be a little bit better, but hey, this is the best performance in a battery we've seen thus far. Like I said, this is a Funny Playing battery. So Funny Playing has their own website, and you can buy this from them for $8.90 directly on their website. Now, it's going to be coming from China. There's still shipping fees included with that, and you're going to be waiting a little bit longer on shipping for this. But $9 for a battery that lasts 4 hours at maximum brightness on an SP. I don't know what's going to last you at like half brightness while playing a game, but I'm assuming probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 hours. I'm guessing that's really good for a modded SP. I think this one takes the cake. You really don't even need to look at any other battery. Maybe there's some like consistency problems. Maybe not every cell is great from them, but I don't know. With the one I got, this was hands down the best battery yet. It lasted the longest out of all the batteries we tested, and it's also pretty much the cheapest if you go through Funny Playing. Obviously, it's not the cheapest because this is $7, but this lasted twice the amount that this did, pretty much. So, yeah, get the Funny Playing battery. I'll have all of these linked down below, but once I'm out of all these other batteries that I've bought, pretty much all of my SPs will come with an original battery or one of these guys. I might just do only these because a lot of the original batteries don't last too long, but I also don't want to just like throw out batteries. It feels wrong. If they're still good, it feels wrong, you know? I don't know. Maybe I could do an upgraded battery option if you want this one. I don't know. But yeah, I guess if there's a battery that I didn't go over that you think might be better than the Funny Playing one, let me know. I'll maybe take a look at it, but probably not because I don't know. I just don't think there's anything better than this. And I don't know if there's enough batteries to make a long enough video. Okay, that's it.